You took a deep breath.
I know.
I thought you were going to talk first.
I was wondering if any of Scott's Facebook friends are going to watch this one. That's all.
Yeah, well, funny story, backstory. We started doing this a couple minutes ago, and I realized that I was doing it on my own personal Facebook page to just my family and friends. So, round two, here we go. We're going to talk about
all of our WDAY family and friends out there.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. Of course, we're live every weekday morning, sometimes on Scott's personal Facebook page, sometimes on WDAY's Facebook page.
It depends.
I'm not going to live this one down for a while.
You're not going to.
But of course, you can listen to it anytime if you go to any place that you find a podcast.
High five. In the practice run before this.
I called it a plod class. I don't know what it was. I put a lot of L's in there. I wanted to say your platform to get your favorite podcast.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Yeah,
It is.
InForum.com/podcast. You can find this podcast.
All
And
the podcasts.
of course, you can also watch our InForum YouTube channel anytime. But of course, just anytime on your Facebook feed as well. You should share this onto your Facebook feed
you
as
should.
well.
Yeah, you should.
So that people can, even if you don't go live on your personal.
How long did it take to figure it out? Too?
Lydia was
2 minutes?
sitting
Lydia
over
noticed
there.
a while ago.
I
She's
would have
like-
never known either.
She's like, when are they going to notice? We were talking about Phil for quite some time.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil, because it's Groundhog Day. And
Stupid.
Dillon loves Groundhog Day. as
It's
you
dumb. It's every meteorologist's worst day of the year because this stupid oversized squirrel comes out of his hole once a year, and when he does, he forecasts the weather.
What does
And-
Phil have to say?
Well-
Forget about Dillon.
Yeah.
It depends if it's sunny or not. And guess what? Who decides if it's sunny or not? The forecasters. And you go off of that, and even if you are, going to say, Punxsutawney Phil, I'm going to trust his forecast. He is only right 40% of the time. You have better odds flipping a coin and calling heads or tails on whether or not we're going to
That's true.
have
50-50 is
longer
better than.
winter. So,
True.
I mean, you can believe him. He saw a shadow today. 6 more weeks of winter. What a surprise. We live in North
Oh.
Dakota. It's always 6 more weeks of winter.
Dillon, you're fired up this morning, dude.
It's just Groundhog Day. I had fun this morning.
Yeah, well, you had like a little
you did.
play one, like a stuffed toy.
I did, yeah.
It's kind of fun to have.
It's Jared's stuffed groundhog. It's still down there by Jared. And if you think today resembles anything like spring, you're in the
No.
wrong state because it does not. It is cold
It's
outside.
cold.
Yeah,
and
it is. It
windy.
is brutal outside. Wind has been gusty all night. The highest wind gusts this morning were up to 50 miles an hour in some spots, like 3-4 a.m. And then since then, we have calmed down the wind a little bit, but temperatures have dropped a lot. We're sitting at like 10 below right now in Fargo, and we're gonna stay there, go a couple degrees colder, and then overnight tonight into tomorrow, a very cold morning tomorrow. The wind will die down a little bit. Probably have some lows in 20 to 30 degree below zero range.
Yeah.
Again, tomorrow. But
Gets better?
yeah,
Ooh.
the weekend looks warmer. Looks like we might hit 30 degrees on Saturday.
And that's spring-like.
It is spring-like.
Not
heat
spring.
It's spring-like.
But spring-like.
We have a lot of snow on the ground for us to safely call it spring, I think. So.
Well, we'll get there
Tomorrow
eventually.
morning, would a monster jam truck start in that cold of weather? do you
I don't know. Luckily, they're inside, aren't they?
Yeah, they are inside.
They're-
Good. I'm going to be inside for the first time this week tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun event, too. You're
It'll
going
be
to be previewing Monster Jam, which is taking place at the Fargodome. I'm going to be going to the event itself, so you preview the event.
Yep.
And I'm going to go to the event.
Gonna play with monster trucks tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
gonna be
they're
fun,
going to be a couple drivers there
Yeah.
early in the morning to talk to you, so that'll be fun to kind
Will
of
be.
hear their insight.
Will be.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Dylan, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Go find Phil.
Oh, he's somewhere.
Oh, Dylan. You
All
really
right.
got fired up about
Yeah, he
Groundhog
did.
Day.
I kind of forget about that whole anger over the rodent
Yeah.
and its forecast.
If you're watching, I want to know in the comments if you are a fan of Groundhog Day or not, and if you believe the groundhog or not. So put that in there.
Okay, we'd love to hear it. All right, we have some big stories to tell you
Yeah.
about today. New overnight, a shelter-in-place order that was in place last night for several hours, lifted probably while you were sleeping. That was happening in a South Fargo neighborhood. A lot of people, I got a lot of text messages and phone calls from people saying what's going on. It was scary for a lot of people.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
we did cover this for you. The standoff ended peacefully, thankfully, while most of you were sleeping, but police were called initially around 6 o'clock to the 3800 block of 21st Street South last night for a 23-year-old man who was suicidal and had barricaded himself inside a house. The man was accused of firing a gun and then pointing that gun at a group of people that was also inside the home. And that's when that shelter-in-place warning was sent out. And then that's what, made people start asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Of course, a scary situation. The SWAT team was called in to help with negotiations. It took 6 hours, but after 6 hours, a peaceful resolution was reached, and that man has been taken to a local healthcare facility to be evaluated.
Yeah, all right, on to the next story we got this morning. A Cass Lake woman will be in court this morning. She is accused of stealing a Fargo taxi that was supposed to take her home. So this is 34-year-old Marty Jones. She's facing a vehicle theft charge. Boston police say the driver of the Doyle taxi cab was taking Jones from Essentia Health in Fargo to Cass Lake, Minnesota. The driver stopped in Boston to use the restroom at a gas station. When he came out, the taxi car was gone. Police eventually tracked down Jones using the taxi's GPS and a live camera system. She was stopped and arrested in Bemidji and is being held in Crookston.
Right now, Fargo police need your help finding a 15-year-old girl. They're looking for Carly Callis. She did not get on the bus yesterday to come home from school in North Fargo. She's described as 4'11" with blue eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing tie-dye pants, a blue jacket, Converse shoes with sunflowers. If you have any information on where she might be or where she was, call Red River Dispatch at 451-7660.
All right, meantime, police are also looking for a man who is accused of throwing 2 cats out of his car, killing one of them as he drove away. Oof. A security camera outside the Fargo Animal Pound captured an image of the man on January 23rd. You can go to InForum.com to see that image. Police say he was wearing a blue hat, dark hoodie, and was driving a red 4-door sedan with a silver window trim. If you are, someone that maybe knows something about him, you're asked to call the Fargo Police Department with that information. The second abandoned cat, which is named Benedict, was not hurt and is available for adoption through the Homeward Animal Shelter.
Okay, you need to go to inform.com, but I'll kind of show you. There's the cat that is up for adoption.
Go this way.
Oh, okay, closer.
There you go.
Closer. Oh. And then, so that's the cat, but I'm also going to show you that they have a pretty good picture of the man if you want to try to help on this story as well.
Yeah.
Definitely go and look because you can see a pretty good picture. So if you can help identify that man, go to inform.com and check it out. Another story that we want to update you on. Today, Minnesota lawmakers will hold another hearing on a bill that would legalize cannabis use in the state. Representatives from Minnesota's Ag Committee will meet at 1 this afternoon. The bill would legalize cannabis use for adults 21 and up, but it would also allow people to grow small amounts, which of course then would generate tax revenue. Though the hearings are expected to address some concerns, of course, on traffic safety and product control in the workplace as well. So lots of questions surrounding that.
All right, a really serious story here, sad story, of course. This morning, a Fargo mom is trying to raise suicide awareness following the tragic loss of her son. Nolan Wilson was a 5th grader at Fargo's Clara Barden Middle School, and Nolan's mom tells us he had big dreams of joining the Army and that he was always smiling and laughing. She admits Nolan did struggle with some things and went to counseling after he lost his dad back in 2018, but says that he enjoyed school and his friends. But last Thursday, she said everything seemed normal. He was playing video games when she went out to just get some food. When she came back home, she found him, tried to save him, but couldn't. Essentially she spoke to us, to our own Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Wallivan, his story, if you want to watch it, you're going to cry, but it is also posted on inforum.com. Very emotional, very moving. I have a 5th grader. So, and I feel like everyone, whether you're a parent or not, this story just is too close to home. But I feel like her talking, the sound bite that we used this morning, she, just said, if I can save even just one child.
Yeah, she's just trying to raise that awareness. And of course, if you do know someone that is struggling or yourself are struggling with your mental health or having suicidal thoughts, you can reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Please reach out.
Today, the Northport Library will be reopening. We told you first here on WDAY that it had been closed for quite some time. It closed January 28th because of some plumbing issues. They've been doing maintenance work. It's going to open up here in about an hour and a half, so 10 o'clock. If that's your library and you've been waiting for it to open up, that's a good update for you this morning.
All right, national headline this morning. The Fed is now raising interest rates once again, this time another 0.25 percentage points. This comes as the U.S. continues to figure out how they're going to raise the debt ceiling and not default on the loans that the nation already has. The White House has come out and said that both House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden had a frank and straightforward dialogue that will continue. Biden made it clear that they cannot allow the U.S. to default and that the obligation is non-negotiable. And then Biden also says that they're going to welcome a separate discussion on reducing the overall spending deficit.
Okay, well, this one's about your money, so you need to pay attention to this. Right now, the Fed is raising interest rates yet again, this time another 2.5 percentage points. Comes as the U.S. continues to figure out how to raise the debt ceiling and not default on its loans. The White House has come out and said that both McCarthy and President Joe Biden are talking, and it will continue. At this point, though, the president has made it clear that they cannot allow the U.S. to default and that this obligation is not negotiable. So a big story happening today.
All right, Hot Mic, it's happening from 9 to 11 this morning. Dom Izzo discussing all the latest sports headlines.
You know what they're talking about on GMA right now?
Tom Brady.
I wanted to talk about Tom Brady all morning. You're like, that's yesterday's news.
I mean,
Every
we can
day I
still
wanna
talk about it, but I mean, it was all over yesterday.
Yeah, it was a big
a lot
story
of talk.
yesterday. We talked about it on
Yeah.
the podcast yesterday.
But I think now all the speculation is turned to his assumed broadcasting career with Fox, and how that's going to look.
Yeah, we kind of debated that. I know we don't have much time here, but do we think he's going to be good? I think so.
Yeah.
But you're right. Not,
He's been
we
good
also
at everything he's ever done, so why
he's
wouldn't
the
he
GOAT, right? But some really good football players are
Yeah.
not great commentators. So
Yeah, we talked about that.
I guess we will see how it goes. But of course, yeah, Dom's going to talk about that some more today. Dom's Hot Mic from 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. That's where you can find even more on Tom Brady. If you want to talk about him all day like I do, you can find it there, plus all your weather headlines, sports news, local and national headlines, all that good stuff. And we've got a good deal going on right now. I just want to get this. I don't have it written down here. So it's going back to the deal of, isn't it 99 cents a month
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
first
yeah.
3 months?
Yep.
But if you also want print and digital,
It's a $5 subscription for that same, I think, the first 3 months.
so great deal.
Absolutely. All right, also remember, you can join us again at 11 o'clock for all your latest headlines, updates on some of the stories we had on First News. Dillon will have your weather updates. And then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, we also have newscasts. And then we'll be back again tomorrow morning, 5 to 7 a.m. on First News. Dillon's going to be at Monster Jam. We're going to have
Oh,
all
that's gonna
your
be fun.
weekend weather, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you join us for that.
Will there be enough leg room for Dillon? Probably in a Monster Jam truck.
You'd think so.
Good stuff.
You'd think so.
Have a great day.